My goal in college was to live as free as possible, play as many gigs, and travel as much as possible. I was running from place to place with the idea that I had control over every aspect of my life. But one day changed the way I understood my life and God's love and plan for me. I remember playing this super long string of gigs in Houston, and when I was done, I was totally burnt out. I headed home in my little RAV4 and I broke down on the side of the highway. My dad, who I usually call in times like these, had just moved to Idaho, and I was still back in Texas. I felt alone and stressed, and I started to freak out. I had a bit of a meltdown. While crying in my car, I managed to call for a tow truck, and that's when I met Chris. Chris was this big guy with a giant smile and a loud voice. He showed up and told me, "Hey man, I'm here and everything's gonna be okay." This random stranger is telling me that everything's gonna be okay. And for some reason, I believed him. While we drove to the auto shop to drop off my car, he could tell something was up. He asked me why was I upset, and I explained to him how my dad, who was my best friend, had just moved to Idaho, and I missed him so much. I told him I had been working so hard, and lately I just felt burnt out. He had a tear in his eye, and he told me that 2 days ago, his dad had passed away. He said he knew what it felt like to feel alone and scared. He then pulled out a Bible from under his seat and he handed it to me. He said, "Read this, it'll save you." He said in the wake of his father's death, the Bible and God's love is what has kept him going. He said, although your dad is in Idaho, God is with you right here and right now. God is here to show you the way. And I admitted, Chris, that I felt lost in my work and I just felt distant from God's plan. Chris and I talked quite a while on that ride home. He challenged me to stop acting like the dictator of my life, who's searching for the way, and more like a servant to God who is the way. I remember getting out of that tow truck at the auto shop, and both Chris and I are crying, and we share this huge hug. And now I look at this weekend's gospel, and I see myself as Thomas. Master, we do not know where we're going, and how can we know the way? And Jesus replies, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. God uses individuals to help bring us closer to Him. I firmly believe that God put Chris in my path for that reason. Now, whenever I feel lost or alone or unsure of what God's plan is for me, I remember my conversation with Chris, and I'm reassured that with faith in Christ, God shows us the way.